Hello everybody and welcome back, gamers. We need to actually start figuring out what we're going to call everybody on the channel now. If you guys got some comments down in the description of what we should call the subs on this channel, I'll be definitely looking forward to it to see what we can maybe make a family or something, see what cool names are going to be and everything like that. Once again, I apologize for yesterday saying that I was going to do 2 videos in one day. With the Idol Master video and everything up, but my ISP with the flash flood warnings down here decided to say no and cut my upload completely, which ended my Twitch stream early yesterday and practically everything. So sorry for the no video for PR4 yesterday, but today we're going to be going over finally my video on PR4, our priority research, brand new ships and everything like that everyone's been farming and grinding for and everything like that. Go over my personal opinions, look at over some of the equipment and everything that's offered in PR4 as well, and just go over some nice, casual, awesome waifus and everything like that as well. Look at the skills of the ships and everything like that, and see where they stack up compared to like the other priority ships that we got and everything like that. Alright guys, thank you for tuning in today. I do gladly appreciate it. So let's go ahead and start with PR4. We got 5 ships this time. With the other empty slot this time still being empty because they don't want to tell us what other ships are going to be there and everything like that as well. But we will start off with one of my second favorites in PR4, which is USS Anchorage as well. She is one of the USS and only USS in this PR4. Personally, I actually really like her. She's very interesting. Her skills are very cool. She's very good actually CA, and compared with Jeanne d'Arc, we could see some pretty serious stuff of craziness going on because Jeanne d'Arc's got that shield and she's got this really cool, interesting skill as well. So let's go over her first skill, which is Riddle Me This. Increases the ship's evasion by 15% when the ship fires her torpedoes. 75% chance to fire special barrage, level 10. Damage is based on skill. If the barrage fails to activate, instead decreases this loading time of the ship's next of wave torpedoes by 3 seconds. So if it doesn't activate, then you got your reload on your torps and everything like that, which is really good as well. And everything, considering that Anchorage, a lot of people thought that she was going to be a gunboat, but she is a CA with torps, which is not too bad because honestly, pretty cool design, everything like that as well. And you know, anymore, why not have torps? Because torps are cool, right? So moving on to her second skill, which is the hide and seek skill, which is where the spiciness comes in of what really takes her personality and everything and kind of makes her, like, in my opinion, one of the high priorities of PR4 and everything like that as well. And that is when the ship fires her torpedoes, deploys a smoke screen and a barrier. Smoke screen lasts 5 seconds and increases evasion rate by 40% for all your ships in it. So it doesn't stack with any of the other smoke screens, but the barrier also lasts 5 seconds, can absorb damage up to 6% of the ship's max HP. If this barrier is destroyed before it expires, the ship gains 100% evasion rate for 2 seconds, which is big. So not only is her smoke screen a normal smoke screen, but also any ships that are in it get that ability as well and lasts for 5 seconds. So it increases their evasion rate by 40%, which is awesome. And if you pair her with someone like Jeanne d'Arc, who applies a shield on your Vanguard as well, and now she applies a smoke screen, this can be used for some serious awesome like attacks and certain things that we can see later on compared with like boss fleets and mob fleets and stuff like that. And kind of like a new kind of like unkillable combo, because you have that Jeanne d'Arc shield that when breaks also heals, but then you also have the smoke screen, which increases their evasion rate, which would be pretty good for any ship that's in that fleet as well. But then she has her own barrier, which also absorbs damage, and then if that breaks or expires, then she gets 100% evasion rate. So she's literally invulnerable to all damage for 2 seconds, which can make or break a ship completely, depending on what chapter you're farming or anything like that. Like, this is absolutely huge, and this was what I think that sets Anchorage above other CAs too. Like, of course, like, you know, there's CAs that we get that's based off of damage and anything like that, but she's like more utility based, which is awesome in my opinion, because I actually think that we need more utility based CAs instead of like these ones that obviously the main job of a CA is to tank and everything like that. But not only can she really like tank, but she can also bring a unique skill set to your Vanguard and everything like that as well, and works really well with every other ship in the game as well, and gives USS another edge as well as a ship to look at, especially for CAs and everything like that as well. If we also look at what she gets based off of her promotes, her first one, she gets 268 HP, 10 AA, 5 evasion, and main gun base +1, which is really good. She gets torp preload +1 as well at Dev 10, as well as Siren Killer, all-out assault, and her main gun efficiency being increased by 5%. At Dev 15, she gets some more health, some more AA, and main gun efficiency +10 as well. And then Dev 20, Siren Killer, some more torpedo efficiency. Dev 25, more HP, more AA, more evasion, and then also that weapon efficiency, and then the Siren Killer, and then the all-out assault and everything like that as well. Her barrage is very interesting as well. So you got the EX barrage, main gun efficiency 1 with the torps and the little shots. Her chibi is very cute as well. So you got the waves of torps mixed with the torpedo efficiency, and then you got an improved EX barrage and everything as well, which is very nice as well. So you got a very awesome looking barrage with a lot of torps and everything like that as well. Very good HP. I mean, 5,902. Pretty good firepower, 238. Torp is 203 and everything. So torp obviously not so high compared to like a CL, but Anchorage, I mean, if you already look at her evasion, that's 75. So you give her a dishwasher beaver badge, you can get to some pretty awesome memes going on with her. But definitely a second pick to mine and everything as well, that I basically see out as, if you're looking for a CA and you don't have a CA, Anchorage is definitely one to go for, because she's going to be so versatile and so great to have in your composition that honestly, if you're a new player and you can farm PR4 right now, I would definitely go for Anchorage first, because she's going to be a great pickup for you if you don't have any other CAs right now as well to access to. Moving on to, honestly, my personal favorite as well, because I'm a big Iron Blood fan, and that is my girl Agir von Parseval. First of two CVs as well in PR. This is the first time that we've ever seen a carrier in PR, which we all thought the Hakuryuu was going to be our last one in PR3, but unfortunately that did not happen. She got moved into PR4, which is still pretty awesome. But Agir von Parseval was the carrier that still needs some action to see how she's going to play out. But she was like that Strizer that we pretty much were really needed, that universal carrier that can kind of help get Iron Blood going with carriers and everything like that as well. Personally, one of my favorite freaking designs, because her design has a freaking dragon in the back. Like her rigging is literally an actual dragon, which is just so freaking cool, and everything as well. I love the art. Base is probably by far one of the best arts I've seen for PR, and they definitely did it out of the ballpark. They listened to like what we were saying about PR3 with like the art being kind of down and everything like that, but they came out slamming with the art in PR4, and my gosh, they hit it out of the ballpark with this with the dragon. It's just so cool. So Parseval, her first one, we got Hex Principle of Insight. When the ship launches an airstrike, 75% chance to inflict 234 damage to all enemies and reduce their speed to 0 for 2.5 seconds and restore to normal over 1 second. So she's kind of got like that pretty much halt, don't pass, I am Gandalf, you're not going to go anywhere ability as well, but also inflicts damage as well. So she's got like a time stop, but also inflicts damage, to where the other skills like Paralyzing Advance or Formidable skills kind of ultimate into place, but they don't really like do damage. So hers actually does damage while also slowing them as well. Having that enemy's speed reduced to 0, even for just a bare minimal of 2.5 seconds, is really great, honestly. You get that little bit of extra damage in real quickly, burst them with like your front line. Maybe you got a battleship in there that you want to just hit them hard with, that you got your salvo up. Parseval procs, ignite, does that damage as well, and then also gets their speed reduced. So I think Parseval is going to look very great. She's also got S Aviation as well, pretty solid HP. Her second skill is Hex Principle of Shattering. When the ship launches an airstrike, launches an additional airstrike level 10, damage is based off level, inflicts armor break to all light and medium armor enemy hit by this airstrike. So we have a carrier that's also targeted at inflicting armor break to light and medium armor enemies, which is actually pretty solid considering that most of the enemies in PvE when we're farming and everything like that is light armor and medium armor. And she's going to inflict armor break, which is also going to increase your damage overall of your composition to your fleet that you're farming with, because now their armor is broken and you're going to get that extra damage in there as well. So like if you're running her with like New Jersey, now you got like that double armor break. You can run Baltimore, which can also throw up a more armor break as well. So now you just got a whole smorgasbord of damage that you can just throw out and everything like that as well onto the light and medium armors. Obviously it's not going to be so great against a heavy armor opponent, you know, and everything like that, but getting that extra damage on light and medium armor targets is very great, and it affects it to everyone that's hit by her airstrike. But it also inflicts armor break, which is also another very great skill as well. Any aircraft that can, you know, get some form of either armor break or flooding or dot damage such as burn is, in my opinion, always a valuable carrier to have and everything like that as well, because setting up that extra source of damage or that burn over time or that flooding dot damage over time can always lead to either saving you in a chapter or helping you out in the long run to set up more damage towards the enemies and everything as well. Her final skill is Hex Principle of Dominance. Increases the ship's damage dealt to CLs and CAs by 20%. When the ship is equipped with an Iron-blooded aircraft, increases the ship's aviation and reload by 12% and fighter efficiency by 10. So her barrage is based off the new plane, the BFG, as well, which is the first plane that shoots rockets in Azur lane, but the rockets on the planes had kind of bare minimal splash damage, so it's kind of very interesting. But that'd be pretty much the fighter that you would want to run on her. So you would, for your fighter, you would go the BFG, and then obviously the dive bomber, you would go your new one from PR4, which would be the Tenari, the rainbow dive bomber, and then if she got a torp bomber, then you would run obviously Wyvern or Barracuda if you don't have Wyvern or anything like that as well. But again, get that increased aviation, get that increased reload, so you can get out your airstrikes and everything like that as well. Also, keep in mind when you guys are going through PR4 and you get a simulation to kind of just base off what the ship is going to be like, keep in mind that the simulation stats are to give you a kind of a closer look to what the ship is like, but also keep in mind that their stats are like hella boosted. So whatever you see in the simulation isn't going to be like exactly what the PR ship is going to be running, because some of them like the aircrafts are like boosted up to like 2,000 reloads, so you can constantly just span the barrage and see what it looks like and everything like that. But obviously the reload's not going to be like that in any other time, but getting that increased reload and aviation off the German fighter slot with the new one that's being made, even though it's not so great, but it's going to be better than the AR-197, which is the only German plane that we actually have that has bombs. So, and it's going to be better than the Mimer ship, considering that the Mimer ship has no bombs and it just has guns and doesn't actually do damage. It's just built for speed adjustment and everything like that as well. But Parseval, mommy, great looking ship, one of my personal favorites in it. But moving on to kind of a low-key underrated ship, and kind of warm up to me even more the art. I stare at it, and I really like her now too, and that is Marco Polo, giving off that really cool like Pope vibe, snake tongue looking thing. She's got one of the craziest barrages I've ever seen. It's literally like a non-stop barrage that keeps firing on the screen, and then by the time you have your salvo up, the barrage ends and you're firing your salvo again. She's got literally 4 salvos. It's ridiculous, but she's gonna be a very interesting character. I love her art as well. Her art's starting to get to me now. I just love the look of everything and how her rigging is and how her actual physical personality is. I love the eyes, I love the tattoos going out and everything like that. She's another ship with S firepower, S health, and everything like that as well. So moving on to her skills, and she's our first Scandinavian one as well. So our first Scandinavian Empire ship as well for PR, which is awesome. So, and she has a very versatile of ships you can use to farm her too. So, like her first mill, you can use Iron Blood and Ceridian Empire ships, and then her second skill or her second 2 mil XP, you can use HMS and Ceridian. So that's very versatile and everything like that as well. Or you can just run full pasta fleet and blow everybody up as well with Finito and Aquila and Littorio. So, especially with Aquila, with preload would make your fights really easy and everything like that as well. So her first skill is Legendary Voyage. When the ship has the out of ammo debuff, decreases the damage penalty effect by 15%. When the ship fires her main gun, 75% chance to fire a frontal barrage. Damage is based off the skill's level. If the barrage fails to activate, heals the ship for 5% of her max HP, which is also very interesting. So she's got that barrage. She has the out of ammo debuff penalty, which is really great because obviously, you know, you guys lose out on damage when you have the out of ammo debuff, but for her that's not the case. She's got that decreased by 15%, and she also got that 75% chance barrage trigger, but if it fails, she gets her health. It gets a little bit of health back, which is really nice. And then she's got her second skill, which is Il Milorone. I know I'm really bad at pronouncing words, so don't judge me. I'm sorry. But which is if there's at least one other Ceridian ship in your fleet, decreases the ship's damage taken by 20%. At the start of the battle, if the frontmost ship in your vanguard is a Ceridian ship, increases the ship's main gun efficiency by 10% and her AA gun efficiency by 50%. If said ship is not Ceridian, instead spawns 2 shields around that ship that can block 3 enemy torpedoes. So it's very interesting skills. So if you're running Ceridian like Duca or anything like that as well, you'll increase Marco Polo's main gun efficiency by 10 and also her A by 50. If it's not, if you're running somebody else versatile, they'll get a shield that can block torps or anything like that, which if you're in a chapter that has a lot of torps or anything like that from enemies, having that shield that can block 3 enemy torps is pretty nice. You know, they collect some damage from you, not all of it, but some. Anything that kind of helps, you know, get rid of damage is pretty nice. So very versatile skill and everything like that. Very interesting on a battleship. It's kind of like a Littorio where she spawns like that frontal shield, but isn't necessarily just based off that skill and everything as well. So her final skill, Untold Tales, which is the very interesting skill in my opinion. I really actually like this skill. It's really cool. During a sortie, whenever the ship is in sinks an enemy fleet, increases the ship's AA and evasion by 5%. Can be stacked up to 3 times. While the ship is afloat, launches a level 10 supporting barrage. Damage is based on skill. 20 seconds after the fleet the ship is not in starts its first and second battles that sortie for said fleet, third and fourth battles, decreases damage taken by 8% for all your Ceridian Empire ships. So very interesting, very wordy as far as how this skill works. So long story short is pretty much you got your supported barrage for any enemy that's synced while she's afloat, which is going to be very probably often depending if your front line doesn't suck and lets her die and everything like that as well. She's going to get that support barrage out as well, and then the other sorties that she's not in, so like if you're swapping to another fleet, she's got that other skill that's going to decrease their damage if you have a Ceridian Empire ship in their fleet and everything like that as well. So very interesting skills, very interesting art, very interesting battleship in my opinion. First of its kind as far as skills and everything like that as well, and in general like a very crazy barrage. You guys can see the barrage in simulation, everything like that. I'm not gonna run the simulation just because it takes time and everything like that, but you can kind of view that at your own time purpose. This is just to view my personal opinions about like the ships and everything like that as well. And now moving on to probably the personal fan favorite of PR4, and probably in my opinion, and a lot of other content creators' opinion, the most broken one of everybody and the most sought out is the ship that we thought we were going to get in PR3, and that is Mama, My Girl, Thick Girl, Hakuryuu, aka upgraded hero meta on crack. She pretty much has another skill like hero meta where she's got the slashing supporting blades, but 10 times more on crack, way better aviation, way better HP, and a lot of more very interesting skills. But gosh dang, this art is awesome. I love what they did as, you know, her being known as the White Dragon. The rigging looks super awesome. I love the horns and everything that they did. I love the whole theme of the hair with the eyes, with the outfit. It really fits her, giving her obviously the big sword that's always known for, you know, Sakura Empire ships being in PR and everything like that as well. So looking into Hakuryuu's skills, we got the first one, which is Skyrunning Retribution. When the ship launches an airstrike, 100% chance to launch an additional special airstrike. Damage is based on the skill level. So 100% chance proc rate on a barrage trigger as well, which is going to be insane with the planes that we have open to us now, especially that new dive bomber that's Hakuryuu paired with Shinano is going to be pretty disgusting of certain amounts of damage that we're going to be seeing and everything like that as well. We got her other one, which is Flame Anointed Conquest. When the ship is equipped with a fighter, obviously fires a level 10 special barrage every 12 seconds when the ship has no fighters equipped. Instead follows up her every airstrike with a level 10 slashing attack. Barrage and slash attack damage are based on the skills level, so like that's the slashing attack, kind of like Hero Meta where she throws out those blades and everything like that as well. Haku does the same thing if you don't use a fighter, if you just use 2 bombers and a torpedo bomber and everything like that, and you use 2 dive bombers, which is kind of like the Shinano loadout, where majority of people are using 2 dive bombers with a bomber, or torpedo bomber, or 2 torpedo bombers with 1 dive bomber. So really depends on the case and everything like that as well. Haku's kind of like the same, but you get that supportive slash barrage like them, like Hero Meta and everything like that as well. It's really good as well. Great One's Shadow is her last skill. When the ship is equipped with a Sakura Empire aircraft, increases the ship's aviation and accuracy by 15%. When none are equipped, instead increases the ship's AA and accuracy by 15%. So obviously with the new bomber, the rainbow one, this is what you would want to equip on her, so she gets that aviation and accuracy, because having the A and accuracy is obviously there's no point considering that she's an aircraft carrier. So you would want that aviation buff and the accuracy buff, not really the AA. So you'll be throwing that Tenari bomber on her as well, with probably like a Wyvern, and so double, pretty much her loadout would be double Tenari, dive bomber, and Wyvern is pretty much what we'd be looking at to get. But good luck farming those, because the Tenari bomber is a rainbow aircraft and that takes 50 prints to build. So yay, it's gonna be a fun time building that. But Haku's a definitely an aircraft carrier at Dev 30 that's going to be seen to be a force to be reckoned with and everything like that as well. And I'm very interested and curious on how she's going to play with Shinano and how the CV meta is going to change with her, because having that support slash with also having that new dive bomber that's going to increase her aviation and everything like that as well, was pretty much already having high aviation to begin with at max level. So that's going to be just even better, and she looks very cool. So that's my personal opinion about Haku. I love Haku. She's probably going to be the ship I'm going to go for next in my PR farm. I like usually when I PR farm, I like to knock out all of the SSRs first, and then I go for DRs, unless that DR is like a super character that's on my list right now. But I'm still working on some other DRs with this account being behind due to some other stuff that's happened and everything for this year. And final ship of the event, another KMS as well, our beautiful, awesome half demon waifu KMS Agir. She a very interesting ship that's also very hot mess when it came into skills. She also did get hot patched after they released her skills and they released PR. That kind of made her a little bit better. But if by today's video reading the skills right now, you'll see what I mean by hot mess and everything like that as well. She is a CB, aka large cruiser, kind of like Azuma from PR2. But this will be KMS's first large cruiser as well. And the cool thing that they changed for this PR is that the decisives have a short little animation video when you unlock them. So like Haku's got like this really cool looking animation video when you unlock it, and Agir also has one too. But also their skins are decisive, which means that when you unlock them and you put them as your secretary, they have a super basic L2D. It's not really live 2D, but it's a super basic 2D animation that makes them move instead of just being a basic PNG, like the other ships and everything like that as well. So that's also very cool. Agir's is really great. Hakuryuu's is really good as well. So both ships are going to be sought out as DRs and everything. But moving on to my girl Agir, she has SHP and A firepower. Moving on to her first skill, which is very interesting skill. Engulfer of the Golden Vortex. When this ship's torpedoes hit an enemy, decreases the target speed by 60% for 5 seconds. As long as the ship is not out of ammo, increases the ship's evasion by 15%. So she has not only a slow skill on the front line when her torpedoes hit. So this is another large cruiser that uses torps. Why? I don't know. I'm not the one that made her, and I don't know what's going through people's heads when they think that large cruisers should use torps instead of guns, but that's just me. I don't know. But she's got that target speed decrease skill. 60% for 5 seconds is pretty huge. That's it's pretty crazy for utility. But we're going to understand why this is going to be a hot mess here in a couple seconds with our next two skills. But she also gets that evasion rate as well when she's not out of ammo. So, moving on to her second skill, which is Abyssal Banquet, which is the Pepiega skill and everything like that as well. When a ship is equipped with a main gun that fires normal or AP ammo, decreases the ship's damage taken by 15% and increases crit rate by 12%. When equipping one that fires HE, increases the ship's damage dealt by 12%, but makes her unable to burn enemies. Why? If the equipped main gun is higher caliber, also increases the ship's main gun efficiency by 12%. Now, here's the fun part. She's a CA, aka CB, which is large cruiser. But she can't, when she uses her actual gun, which is HE, she can't burn enemies, but she gets increased damage and she gets her main gun efficiency equipped by 12%. That's great, but she can't burn enemies, which kind of sucks. So that's why this skill is the Pepiega skill, because one, you don't use fucking normal ammo on large carriers because normal ammo sucks. And AP ammo is where it's at, but it only decreases her damage and her crit rate. Decreasing her damage is great. That's fantastic. And then increases her crit rate, which is also great. But her gun, if you equip HE ammo, decreases increases her damage, but she can't burn anybody. So up to you of what gun you want to use, but she cannot burn the enemies by the HE gun. So this is known as the Pepiega skill. Why? I don't know. Jolton's Jaw, which is the other very interesting skill. If there are no enemies near this ship, which makes no sense, when she fires her main guns, inflicts armor break to all enemies hit. Once every 8 times her main guns are fired, fires a level 10 special barrage. Damage is based on barrage skill. If the ship's main gun is higher caliber, why do you just keep just say the gun that it's in PR4 as her gun? Why do you have to say higher caliber? They're all high caliber. You know, just say the gun that's in PR4. Decreases the number of shots required to 4. What the words? Just weird skills. Just weird skills. That's why she's a hot mess. She can use HE or AP, and she's got these weird buffs and things and firing and stuff like that just makes her really awkward. But also requires high dev level to be versatile and everything as well. So Agir is probably, even though she is German and very waifu, she will most likely be the last ship I farm for. But again, a very good ship to acquire first if you want your DRs out of the way, a very good waifu and everything like that as well, but it's also going to take some time to make viable and everything as well. So again, awesome base art, super cool looking dragons, the fire, the buildings, the chains. It just fits her theme completely great, honestly. So once again, the art for PR4 is completely knocked out of the park. But once again, guys, that is going to be my video on PR4. I will use timestamps and everything like that in the video for the ships of your guys' choice, so you can just skip to them with the ships that you're interested in. Comment down below what ship you guys started with and everything. I would like to see what you guys think about PR4 too, and how they kind of compared to the waifus in PR3, 2, and 1, and what do you guys like about the tell me if you guys like the arts, do you guys like the ships. I want to hear you guys' personal opinions down below, so comment down and I will be going through the comments and everything like that as well. But once again, guys, I do apologize for not getting this video out yesterday. My upload was just terrible. It would have taken me literally almost 20 plus hours just to upload a video. My upload was just dying tremendously with the flash flood warnings, but I was trying to just pretty much just keep safe and pray that my internet got better. So other than that, I will have this video up today. Anyways, thank you guys again for joining me today. I gladly appreciate it. Also, comment down what we should start calling subscribers here on the channel. I'm always curious on what ideas that we should go with. We're getting closer to 1K and everything like that as well, as far as subs, and I'm just extremely grateful and everything like that as well to see all you guys and everything like that as well. And if you guys are enjoying my content, make sure that you like that follow button as well. Subscribe, comment, leave a message, never hurts, anything like that. If you guys are always curious for more content or need help on Azur Lane, come join our community Discord, which will be linked down in the description below as well. And also come join us on Twitch. We stream 2 to 3 times a week on Twitch as well. Very laid back and chill community where we just grind and chill and just talk about our anime boat waifus. Until then, guys, have a good one, take care, and I'll see all you guys again next time. Peace out.